Alrighty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another weekly update. Hope everybody's having a lovely day. And with that being said, let's get into the TA. Alright, so we're going to start here on the weekly time frame, then we will work our way over to the daily time frame. First things first, you did have a breakout last week, and you had follow through this week. We had our 6% week last week, and we again closed the week up this week, and then you come over here to QQQ. We have a very similar look, except this week you got your breakout of that bull flag over on QQQ. All right, so I do want to rewind back here to when we were right here at the bottom. And well, I'm going to rewind back to when we were right here before the bottom, the week before the bottom. We were like, all right, even if you do end up dropping, it is just going to, come down here, and it's going to, you're going to be back testing this zone right here. And then you're also going to have that trend line, descending trend line support right there. And in the grand scheme of things, you did end up just coming down here, tapping the 0.618, the start of your golden pocket there, and you exploded upwards off of there. All right, so you had a back test, a break and retest going on right there. You had the golden pocket test right there. You had this lower, trend line support right there. Guys, odds were in your favor for a bounce. Now I'm going to say odds are in your favor for a pullback. All right. Like, even if you want to be bullish, you want to be bearish, just like, on this move right here, right there. All right. I thought we were going to get the start of that pullback, but regardless, guys, whether you're bull or bear, you want that pullback. All right. Now, on the weekly time frame, guys, we're just literally retracing this entire move to the downside right here, and we are already back up in the golden pocket. Now you come over here to QQQ, and you're at the top of the golden pocket. So that's what I want to start the video off with. We're talking about these golden pockets here. And I'm just going to say right now, bears, if you're there right now, all right, speak now or forever hold your peace. I'm serious. If you break above here, I don't care what happens next, pullback or not. I mean, we're going to be bullish on the pullback. Now you guys see why I wanted to really be bullish on the pullback. I guess, this week again, we're just up massively again. We're up, almost 3% here on the week. Last week was 6.5%. Guys, this is why you want to be bullish on the pullback. You clearly have a lot of strength going on here. Okay, so, bearish or bullish here, guys. If you get above this 0.78, that is when you better be bullish on the pullback, because you're likely having 100% retracement. Or we're going to go straight there right now, which I don't think is likely, because you have not had a pullback yet. All right, you can argue that we made a higher low here and then pushed up to new high, but I'm also going to say right here, you put in the high and the low in the same day. I think it's safe to say that this is not just your high or low. No, we again did not get the pullback. All right. This did end up validating itself as a complete bear trap here. You can come down here to the hourly time frame, and you bounced right there at your last line of support before you had absolutely nothing until this gap fill all the way down at 430.92. Okay, then you shot up to new highs, so that was your bear trap. I think we're putting in a bull trap. Now, don't get me wrong, guys. I'm extremely bullish on this market. I think this thing is going to rip faces, all right? If you think this is something, I think this dip is going to be bought up, and then you're going to see something like you haven't. Well, I don't want to see something that you haven't seen yet. You guys have just seen that. I don't think we're going to match that, but you get what I'm saying. I think we're going to end up going higher after this pullback, right? I think it's going to get eaten up. I think this scenario, it's not completely off the table, but I think it's extremely unreasonable to think that this is going to be the likely scenario, us undercutting this low and doing something like that and then running up. I really, I think it's much more likely that you're going to get something like this. All right. I really don't think this was the pullback, guys. I think we're going to have this slight overthrow here. You're now in the golden pocket here in SPY. You're at the top. All right. You're at the 0.786 over here on QQQ. I think it's very likely we get that pullback, and maybe we don't. All right. Maybe we don't, but you also have resistance right above. And then I'm going to say you probably get the pullback from there. All right. Now, you can continue with this craziness. You definitely can. All right. You definitely can continue it. I just think it's very unlikely that you are going to continue it. Let's actually, before we go any further, let's see the put to call ratio. All right, so you get to put the call ratio. Let's take a look at this. Take a look at this. We're gonna pull up just everything we got right here. All right. All right, so we got put the call ratio. You're at 1.03. All right, you did end up having a 1.2 spike. We pointed that out the other day. There's that. What do we also have? We have this. All right, so I pointed this out. You have a lot of people getting bullish again. All right, you switched from, you had these extremes here. That's why we're saying, hey guys, you extremely likely. You're right here at the bottom. I'm serious, guys. It was so likely that this was going to be the outcome here. Did we think it was going to be this explosive? No, I don't think anybody thought it was going to be that explosive. All right. And again, you still have had no pullback here. All right. And again, you did it in one day. You made the high and the low in the same day. I don't think we can really count that as a low. We don't have a new low. But you do have a higher high. So now pull back. And as long as you don't take out these lows, which again, after seeing this, think it's very unlikely that we're about to see that. All right, take out the low here. I think we're probably going to come down here, bounce off of this gap right here, or we're going to bounce off of that gap right there. And over on SPY, where do I think you're going to come down and bounce off of? I think it's going to be right here around this 200 MA. And then you also have the 20 MA that aligns with, it's going to be somewhere around over here. And what that would effectively do, let's just make that a little longer there. All right, guys, so you would be retesting where you broke out from. You had this vicious gap up right here, and you never came back. Then you had this gap up, and you also never came back. So I still think we're going to come back and fill some of these gaps here. You have 3 that just remain open here. I think these upper 2 are likely to fill, if not just the top one. But we really haven't had any sort of pullback here. I don't think it's unreasonable to be looking for that pullback by any means at this point in time. All right, over here, we're looking for the pullback right here. Now, after that move, I'm just going to say right now, right, I don't think you are, making the best decision here, the safest decision here, buying into the high. I'm just going to say that. Yes, you have a breakout here, but, I do not think that's, just look at the move we just had. You had a lot of room to do so. It went from 410 to 440. That is a $30 move right there. Just putting it out there. You're buying in $30 later. There's that. I would wait for the retracement. We're going to go back and we can point out how unreasonable the move is without a pullback that we just had. But, let's just say right here, right? Confluence is 200 DMA. All right. Breakout zone right there. You gapped up above it. You're going to have trend line right here. So you could back test where you broke out of there. All right. Your giant bull flag here. You could back test that. Could happen quick. All right. Could happen a little slower. But I'm going to be honest, with the move you just had, I don't see something like that playing out. I see something like that playing out. And then you go up. And then maybe you have, something like that. All right. But, guys, you are right here in this golden pocket. And if bears really are going to step up over here on QQQ, then it's going to be right here. All right. You closed right at the 0.786. It's going to be right here if they do. So that's that. All right, now I will point out you have decreasing volume here on the week on QQQ and SPY, and something that is a little odd that I'll point out, which I don't think it really means anything, but this is a pretty big candlestick right here, larger than the day before, yet you have bigger volume on the day before. Then again, people probably took large short positions, and then boom, bop, bing, boop, pow, got squeezed out right there, and that's probably why less volume, and then, bigger move. So that could explain that. But just something I noticed, ES and NQ both have the declining volume. I think it was IWM that didn't. RTY over here didn't. And then you have IWM and DIA. Those were up on the day with decreasing volume, but then you have SPY over. So you know what? All in all, it's mixed. Doesn't really matter. Just something I thought I'd throw in there. All right. Now, I am going to point this out. Apple. All right. This thing's looking absolutely insane. All right, you do have increasing volume on the day. You've had a full reset here. This is what we were trying to point out over there. And then when you originally started falling over here, all right, we were pointing out how rare your RSI being down here was, and that is your buying opportunity. All right, it proved to be the exact buying opportunity right here. You were down at 30 for one day. That was the exact bottom. You also had been in this giant falling wedge. We pointed that out way down here, and once we saw it, we were like, how could you really be bearish on this market? Well, look at this thing. And then you broke out with earnings. All right, well, earnings, was right here, and then you climbed back up and broke out, days later, and now we're all the way up here, and your next resistance all the way up around 190. I think you probably end up shooting up to 190. Or you're going to see a pullback, whether it be a deep one like that or just something like this, and then you're going to shoot up to 190. All right, I think Apple's going to carry the market higher. That is what I'm getting at. But you still have gone, so high without any sort of pullback here. I'm just putting that one out there. And that's a common theme with all of these stocks here. All right, you got Google going on, Meta, Microsoft set a new all-time high. Absolute insanity. Tesla is not participating. Sorry, people who are trading Tesla. Avgo. All right. I had a freaking I had an Avgo put here. All right. It was the not 115. It was the 915 put. And I'm feeling all happy about it. I'm all right. This is my lotto for Friday. I got that. I had an AMD one I think I got for like $20, and the SPY one I got for like $20. I was like, oh, this is cool. If we fade the move hard, these will pay, especially this Avgo one, all right? No. I look at my phone later, the thing is freaking just skyrocketing up at like 940. I'm like, okay, it's too late. And then it just kept going. Maybe it wasn't even 940. Maybe it was like 950 at that point. I don't remember when I looked. I was just like, oh, geez, it's too late. It's too late. It's going. It's just, I had missed all of this. I had not even seen this. And I look somewhere up here and I'm like, oh, how did I just not look at this? How? But yeah, either way, that was a thing. And I'm just saying, guys, all of these things have gone absolutely bananas without any sort of pullback. All right. But I think it's very obvious bulls are in control. Look, guys, this is the 0.786. You're probably having a full on 100% retracement here, which means after the pullback, it probably just gets bought up. All right. It doesn't really matter where you pull back to. It probably just gets bought up. All right, so get bullish on the pullback. I want to make that very clear. AMD made it all the way to 120. Look at that. We did say over here, you're probably getting there. Now, again, massive move. No pullback. You're right at resistance. Not a bad time to do so. TSF, look at this, guys. Look at all these RSIs getting towards 70. So, guys, I do think we're going to get a market-wide pullback here. MU at the top of this ascending trading range here. You broke out from this one. Look at that. You end up going right to our, guys, you literally take these 3 touch points right there, and then you hit control, and you're going to drag that, and you go like right there. And look at that. You have a parallel channel. You went right there and found resistance, right there at the top. I'm just saying, a lot of these charts look like they, are at the perfect spots to pull back from. And, yeah, plug, look at this thing. This thing died the other day. That was the thing. That was a thing. Carvana, there was another one over here. All right, but it's just back testing the channel it broke out from, guys. Things get pretty squeezy here. They really can. D-King, one we pointed out. All right, back down over here. Oh, this thing never looked back. But this is what I'm talking about, guys. A lot of these things, they got to pull back. Things do not go straight up. I'm telling you, if you think they go straight up, you're completely wrong, and this is a complete anomaly. We're going to get that pullback. Mark my words. Somewhere from 450 down to 440, we're going to see a major pullback take place. QQQ is already here. I think we're, solid shot. We're about to start that pullback. I thought it was going to happen after this, big bearish engulfing candlestick day right here. You engulfed, past 3 days of range there. Boom. Nope. It provided the fuel for a short squeeze. There was that. I think this is a bull trap. All right. But I think bulls who buy the, pullback there, I think they're going to be heavily rewarded. That's just, a prediction there. We're going to have to see how that goes. All right, guys. So I think that's all I really got for you guys today. All right. Going into this week, guys, I'm bullish on the pullback. But that doesn't mean this thing's going to go straight up without that pullback. We need the pullback to get bullish on. I can't be bullish like this. It's probably not going to end well for people entering right up here. I really, I can't see it going well. I really cannot. But maybe it does. All right. Who knows? I just think it's extremely unlikely. There's that. All right, guys. So I am going to leave you guys with that. Everything looks like it's, it's going on quite a tear here. All right. I understand. But again, see the arrow? This is something that is completely reasonable. And then you can go back up. And then you're going to have this. Boom. All right. So like this is actually what I'm looking at over here in SPY. I know a lot of people are going to be sharing this chart on this pullback. They are. And guys, I think it could end up turning into a pattern where everybody is staring at the same exact thing. And, you know, people are going to be like, oh, it's not going to happen. And then it happens right before everyone's eyes. I think that's probably what's going to happen. All right. But yeah, you got to pull back to make that right shoulder. But even if you're, you know, guys, if you're bearish, you're looking for something like that. If you're bullish, you're looking for something like that. Like it's you know, which I'm going to be completely honest. Now that you've already gone into the golden pocket, you probably, you know, get the pullback, get eaten up, and then you probably bust right up through it. And you're probably on that next wave up. You probably go up to revisit the high anywhere from here, 453 to 460. Just if I had to take a shot at that one, we're probably going to see this play out into the end of the year. If I had to take a shot at it. Like this is honestly Henry's preferable path into the end of the year. We die off for a little, everyone's going to be like, oh, the market's crashing again. It's not gonna. All right, it's not gonna, guys. We're going to buy that pullback because you guys can see how unreasonably bullish the market. And I say unreasonable because I think this was, you know, this was justified. Everyone thought a market crash was going to happen. The market had to, you know, take everyone's money who was thinking like that. And then guess what? All right, this is the part I say is unreasonable. All right, you're just, you know, stretching this out. We can stretch it out, but if you do continue to, it's going to stall out somewhere between 441 and 440 and 449. All right, so that's really what I got to say. You're going to stall out somewhere in this range. I don't know where, but now that you didn't do it here, it's going to be there. Now, we did have increasing volume and off of this big move right there. So maybe we do put in a spinning top, a shooting star candlestick, gravestone doji, something, you know, reversally. If that's a word, reversally. But, you know, that's justified. I don't think you go much further there, though. All right, QQ, you're looking at the exact same thing. You want to come up to this resistance right here, and you want to put in a spinning top, shooting star, just any sort of topping tail reversal candlestick right there. But again, you're bullish on the pullback. It's literally the pullback's going to just back test where we broke out from here, maybe fill some gaps, probably this guy right here. Been, you know, very strong over here on QQQ. And then you're bullish on it. So I don't know if it's going to take a week for the pullback or the next 2 weeks. No idea. We'll watch things as we go. But that's really my game plan, guys. I'm just waiting on that pullback to get bullish on because I can't be bullish on this. You can't, you know, enter, you know, new long positions up here. You're going to probably see that. And then you're going to be like, oh, crap, I just made a terrible decision. In the end, it's going to go your way, but by that time, theta might, you know, wreck you right there, which that's something I'm going to be incorporating, guys. I'm excited about that. I'm just going to purchase 60-day calls, all right? 60-day calls, 60-day puts. Whenever I'm trying to catch a directional swing, it'll just be 60 days. We won't have to worry about theta, and there will be that. I do get pretty close to, you know, turning points. We got pretty close down here. Down here, I was, you know, ringing my bells like, guys, even if you see the low get taken out, you better be bullish on it. All right, but just like up here, all right, I started getting bearish somewhere up here, looking for the pullback, never got it. We're a little higher right now, just a teensy bit, but I don't think we're, you know, I think we're probably around that pivot point, that reversal point, and then we're going to pull back. We're going to put in that higher low. All right, with that being said, I'll catch you all in the next one, and peace.